If you've ever felt like the third wheel, this podcast is for you.
If you love Wheel of Time, this podcast is for you.
If you're bored and have nothing better to do, this podcast is for you.
Join Rob,
Megan,
And Jen
in celebrating the Wheel of Time
and its statistically best fandom
and ridiculous gaming skills,
and probably a few cocktails.
and find out which one of them will be the third wheel this time.
This is
three-wheeling.
Hey! Hello! We made it through the techs and the link issues and things. Thank you to the live listeners who paired with me while I was trying to figure out if I had posted the right link or the wrong link. And it looked like I'd posted the right one, but it wasn't working right. I don't know. But it's sorted. It's worked out. We're here. How are you doing, Jen and Meg?
We're good. We're here. This is better than last time when I was up at 6 a.m. and the sun rays were.
It is still very shiny behind you.
It is.
It's very shiny. It was a joy to edit that episode actually, because the sun just kept being commented about. It was like, no, it's made me feel really nice. So, not suggesting you get up at 6 every time, but it was.
No. I'm happy to do it, girls.
No judgment. That's
Clearly.
fine.
I know.
Look,
I know you don't mind. I know you don't mind,
like
but
45
also
minute ago being like, I'm up, I've got coffee, I'm ready.
I was.
And then still didn't turn up on time.
I was making coffee and then that kind of went south and I ended up it's fine. It's all good.
Do you have coffee?
But yeah. No, I do. Thank God.
Okay,
I mean,
good.
if I didn't have coffee, I would have called you Martians or something, not even girls. You wouldn't even been human. Oh.
Love it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We stayed up and we watched Tron last night.
Oh,
Like, not the new one. No.
No,
We're
the OG?
pre-gaming. We're pre-gaming the OG because we wanted. Zach hadn't. Actually, I don't think Zach had seen it all the way through, and so we want to watch the original.
The original.
Oh, it's so great! It's so
great.
fun.
Yeah.
And also, like, I mean, I've seen it multiple times. It's one of David's favorites. Completely forgot that it's all about AI taking over the world, and I was like,
This is why I say I don't know why we haven't learned from Hollywood. This is not a good idea.
I saw someone talking about, like, I don't like the sequels to the Star Wars movies, but you got to give them credit for the realism. We didn't believe fascism turning back up after 20 years after being vanquished and turning up stupider, but it works. It's real.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Yeah. And if you watch the crawl, the stupid boring crawl in the first one that we all hated, that was like, there's a war, the Trade Federation is sieging a planet. And we were all like, snooze. And now we're like, oh, tariffs. It's all about a trade war. Yeah.
Oh my God. Someone needs to put a ginger wig on one of those trade people at the beginning, and they were just like, oh, close the blast doors, they're coming through.
Yes, please.
Get Omar on it.
Get Omar on that. That's definitely
Please. Oh my God.
Oh, that was very
So
exciting.
true. That's so true. Oh my God, I'm going to yawn. What am I yawning? It's not even that early for me. It's 8:15 in the morning. Come on, Jennifer Skelly.
But it's a Sunday, so
I don't really normally say my name out loud. I don't know. I'm just, see, I'm not with it at all. I do. Everybody knows my name in the fandom. It doesn't matter.
At least we all have our matching T-shirts this week.
We do. Look, I did it.
Yes,
I had.
but it wasn't in your washing pile. It was in your drawer. But
last time it was folded up exactly where it was supposed to be, and I didn't believe that could possibly be true in my house. So
I think before we get going, we need to put it out there. We need ideas. I was thinking about it earlier today. Someone mentioned that we need a T-shirt for just fans of the podcast. Not if, if they don't want to like pick individual T-shirts to support individual ones. So we need like a I'm the fourth wheel of three-wheeling type T-shirt. And so folks need to send us ideas for that. And by the way, if people randomly pop in and out of the recording today, I think the link is still being funny because it looks like Amise just tried to join and then it's doing a thing.
Into the recording.
Into the recording. So we might have random people turn up accidentally today, folks.
We love it. We love it.
Damn you, Riverside,
I'm very parched.
You're parched. Why are you parched, Megan?
I don't know. Like,
you know what time it is, Rob? It's 8:15. Say it's 17 in the morning.
it's 16:17 in the afternoon. Not that it could be 16:17 at any other point in the day because of military timing. I don't know. Time for me. I'm gonna have a drink.
What time is it? What time, Mac? Yay! Hey, what time is it?
I don't know. I think it's time to ask. What's Meg drinking?
Wow, I think that might have been the best one that's been across oceans.
Did it sound good for you? Because I was late on everything on purpose.
Did it sound good for you, Megan?
Was it good for you, Meg?
Very much did. Yes.
Okay. There we go.
So Meg is drinking the Blackberry Tower.
Oh.
Wow. I love it.
Well, the Gathering Madness is coming up, and so I always have to do a cocktail submission, although I really think they would like a lit pipe, so I kind of want to submit 2, but last year I submitted 2, and they only let me submit 1, so I don't know, I don't know. Anyway, but, and actually I need to take a sip because...
Because we need to do, because she's very thirsty, so she's parched.
Or, yes,
I've made 4 versions of this. Okay, this is the one. Okay.
Oh my God.
Where are the other 3?
Okay, so this recipe is in a cocktail shaker without ice. You're putting 2 blackberries. Now, this was the thing. So I drizzle just a little bit of agave, just a little bit.
Just
to sweeten it a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you muddle that. And then you're doing 1.5 ounces of blackberry bourbon, 1.5 ounces of regular bourbon, 4 ounces of lemonade, 1 ounce of egg white or 1 egg white. And then you're shaking it until foamy. Then you add the ice, shake it again until it's cold. And then double strain into, and then I did a Tom Collins because I wanted it to look like a tower.
Tall tower.
Right, yes.
And then over fresh ice, and then I garnished with a little blackberry on the side. So
nice.
The first recipe only called for 1 ounce of each bourbon with 1/4 ounce of agave, and it was really too sweet. So then I tried it without the agave, but doubling the bourbon, and then it was like too bourbon-y for me. So then I was like, okay, just a little drizzle of agave. Drizzle. So, yes.
Wait a minute. I love that it's the Black Tower, but it has the red to it.
How was it 2 colors?
Well, it's probably just because of the lights behind me, the purple lights. Mm-hmm. But, the 2 colors, I think it's just from settling. So it's the egg white.
Yeah.
And then it's settling. Just been tainted. Ooh, it's been tainted by
wow. Okay. I was excited about that, but Meg was like a whole other level right then.
That's either Taim's
I think
the
I
shaman.
need another picture now, though, because...
Or the ones who've been turned.
Okay, hang on. I got to take another picture. I'll be right back, because now let's change it. I feel like I need that for the thing.
Okay.
Hang on.
Right, now that she can't hear us, Jen, let's talk all the shit, you know?
What I want to know is, where did the other 3 trials go?
I mean, there was one where it was too sweet, not enough bourbon, then one that was too much bourbon, not enough sweetness. Where's the one in between? Maybe she tried the third one.
Where's the third?
Maybe this was the third the other night.
Maybe.
When she tried to make sure she was happy. And then this is the 4th one where she's like, make it for the picture in the show.
Yes.
And that. So,
yes.
Bless her.
We'll find out. That's amazing, though. I love that. I love that. I mean, I think... Oh, Megan, when you're back in, I think...
I'm in.
Okay. I think that you should submit a lit pipe for Gathering Madness, but I think you should submit this just to Black Tower Podcast to be like their signature drink. Like,
yes. I like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just be like, this one's your signature drink. But I do. I
feel like they'll think this is too sweet, and I feel like they'll really like a lit pipe. However, a lit pipe is very complicated to make with the smoker. So I might just message Josh and be like, hey, these are both what I'm thinking. I think you'll like this, but it's more complicated. Plus, you also have to make the cinnamon simple syrup if you can't find cinnamon simple syrup, which I don't think I ever have. So this one's easier to make. So
that's fair.
But I hear Josh likes a challenge, so...
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll just message him and ask him what he wants to do.
Okay.
You'll be like, which one of these will let me win? Is what you're basically asking.
I have to get my other shot glass to go with my one from last year. So
yes. I know. I know.
I mean, I don't know anyone else. Lots of us in the fandom enjoy a cocktail, you know, but I don't know anyone else who makes them like this impressively, consistently, creatively. Thoughtfully as you make. Literally, you're like, I'm thinking this is happening, or this happened, or it's this anniversary, or something, and you make cocktails to match. Like, I'd be like, oh, here's a list of cocktails. This is how I make them little timey. There's my list. I'll just make it as we go around. You know, like,
or you could be like me, who was like, when people come over for dinner, I'm like, I'll make you a cocktail, but I don't know any. You know.
That too.
And then, although I did last week, I did pull out my, in fact, Katie wants a recipe book. I was like, well, you got to win one.
There's a few in existence.
She's right. Maybe
Meg will sign it.
Or yes, and maybe she can donate this year and see if she can get this year's. If we're doing another cocktail book for What a Holiday.
We are.
I assume we are.
We are. That's absolutely in Megan's domain there, folks. So that's why.
I've been keeping it up, like all of that. So I've been making it as we go each week. So
I'm sure you. That's amazing. That's amazing.
She's so fucking organized. I can't. You guys, like, this is what being the big sister. It's like I'm the little sister. This is what being the big sister to Megan is like. Is like, she's got her shit together, and then there's me. And then there's
always
this.
Just ask Troy. He doesn't think
there's
you.
this. Oh my God. Whatever. He's wrong.
Folks, comment with whether you think Meg's more organized than Jen or not, and whether Troy's, saying no, Jen's talking out of her ass.
That's right. Now, I as an actor, I'm very good at faking it and playing it off like I'm organized. People who meet me think I'm a super organized. Thank you, Sharps.
Sorry for those listening, those not in live chat. Chev just put Jen, big sister solidarity. My little sister is also perfect. Oh,
yeah.
And I'm most certainly not perfect. But.
You're perfect. Shut up. Shut up. You're perfect.
Troy would agree with that bit.
Yes, he would.
There we go.
What? He would agree with the not perfect bit. No,
the perfect bit. Like Jen's part. Oh my God.
No.
Jen, you were saying just before, sorry, as an actor or something.
I don't even. Oh, just saying as an actress, I'm really good at portraying organization. People who meet me, they think I'm very organized and I have my shit together. And in various scenarios, people are always like, oh, let Jen be in charge of that because she's organized. I can be in charge of things. I can tell people what to do. But
it's a lot of nodding from Megan right now.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, whatever. You're bossier than me. Come on. Let's get that straight.
I would agree with that bit as well. Yeah. This is how we're going to do the writing of season 4 to 12.
You're going to write 4, 5 seasons, 6 seasons of television.
I love this tone of voice we're getting right now. It's good fun.
I know.
So, all right. Well, as is traditional, after the amazing cocktail and that, we have to have the obligatory
basic
ASMR.
bitch open the beer.
She just called you a basic bitch.
I did.
I called you a little girl earlier. Oh, he's about to throw down.
Oh, no.
The microphone goes. Nice. I needed my ASMR. Thank you. I mean, what's more basic than this basic bitch? Although it's not even a drip coffee. It's just like an Americano out of my espresso machine because I was too lazy to actually boil the water for drip. But there we go. Mm-hmm.
All right. Mrs. Fancy Pants. So Rob is the token wetlander and the basic bitch.
Oh, Rob.
Wow.
Yeah.
But we love you.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like this is good inroads for the third wheel this week. Meg, any news in the last couple of weeks?
Not really, other than Sharon posting updates. So I'm just trying to understand the logistics of how this is working. Mm-hmm. So she has this warehouse for forever. I mean, it seems and just getting everything in there and all put together. Seems like quite an undertaking. And I'm very sad I'm not going.
It does look like it's going to be quite an undertaking. I think that warehouse is just where the costumes currently live anyway. Mm-hmm. That would be my guess. But it's a lot of work. They're clearly doing a lot on it already. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. But I love that she's posting so much about it right now and posting old images and, sketches. And it's really, really, really exciting. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and Nikhil has been very much campaigning for
his Grammy
nomination.
For his Grammy.
So,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Grammy nominations are open this week. I am not in the Grammy.
You're not on the Grammy circuit?
I'm not on the Grammy circuit, so I can't vote for it. But But yeah, he's posting tons about it. That's fantastic. It's very exciting. And posted people singing at WatCon.
Yes, I did send him
at MalkieriCon, I think, right?
Has he done it? I sent him
I don't know if he's posted it yet.
Okay. I sent it to him, so...
Okay. Good.
But while we're talking about Sharon, why don't we, I'll find the page, announce the winners, because the fashion site did a giveaway, didn't it, for tickets?
Did it?
Did you not see this? I'm sure we
Lack
talked about
of
this
organization over here. Life's been lifing.
Lifes. This is true. So it did a couple weeks ago. So they did a giveaway, didn't they? Like, you could comment below with who you would take to the exhibition. They were going to give away five pairs of tickets. Well, they announced who won the tickets. So, and I don't recognize most of the names, with the exception of Veren's brush.
Oh, nice!
That's great! Oh my god, that's great.
Which is really,
really
cool.
Which is also, I mean, as much as, like, I would love it to be all people that we knew, I like that it's not, because then that shows that there's, like, a lot of outside interest in it, that we don't necessarily know these people. So
yeah, like we think, I mean, you know,
we are the center of the universe.
We are the center of the universe. But, you know, our assumption is that every good fan out there is fully locked into this fandom and this community, this specific community. And I mean, like, you know, I told you I ran into that couple at Comic-Con who were like, you know, and Rob, you said you ran into somebody who was a big fan somewhere, and you were like, "Do you know about
his DoorDash guy? His DoorDash guy.
That's right.
Well, the guy from the grocery store that delivered my groceries that time.
Yeah. That's great. They're out there.
They are out there.
Yeah. What did I just think? I was just thinking about. I mean, there's been a lot of, like, you know, there's no actual social media, and I honestly am not really clued into any social media lately these days, but I happened to be on Instagram for some reason yesterday for something else. And, like, of course, because these are the main people I follow, but, like, the top 5 stories were, you know, Rosamund and, you know, and Taylor and somebody else doing something. And I was just like, they're all moving on. Because none of the posts were about Wheel of Time.
It does. Like, it does feel.
I want you all to have your lives and keep doing things, but also no, just post about Wheel of Time, please.
Yeah, just Wheel of Time stuff. There was a really good article posted out by Collider the other day.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, which is really, really cool.
How it was like one of the best fantasies since Game of Thrones, right? That one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this was posted just like a day ago, basically. And it's by Jen Vestutu. Love that name. That's great. That's good fun. And basically it says, like, how... Jesus, so many ads on this page. Wheel of Time is, despite the fact it got cancelled, the best fantasy show since Game of Thrones. Like, it's ridiculous how good it is. It's a great article. You should read it. One of the bits I really loved in it is she talks about... Because obviously you can talk about Rosamund, who is an amazing actress. But it's talked about the other characters like Yosha and Maddie and so on and so forth. And it was just really beautiful what she wrote about them. I'm trying to find the section.
It was just about how they were really, like, filled out their characters well. And
yeah, like, for example, Yosha Stradowski's Rand al'Thor had the unenviable task of becoming the Dragonborn. The role pushed the actor to his limits. In one standout Season 3 episode, he portrayed 6 of Rand's ancestors in visions of the past, demanding a showcase that became one of the series' most ambitious and groundbreaking episodes. Alongside him, you know, there's Marcus and such. Like, Maddie shone as Egwene, here for you, Meg, showing the growth of a woman coming into her power and serving as a key emotional anchor. And later, Kira Coveney's Elaine began to emerge as a major character with glimpses into her family and origin, hinting an even larger role to come. Like, the whole article.
She talked about Zoe, too. Yeah.
Yes, she talked about Zoe and Marcus and... actually did not talk about Donal.
Donal or Ayula.
Or Ayula.
Was she a Barney fan?
Maybe she was a Barney fan. Maybe she couldn't find a balance between the two. Maybe she felt bad saying Donal over Barney. It's possible.
Right.
So
yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah, it's a great article. And our good friend, Lonelier Sky Shine, said, hey, could you go promote it, people? So the link to that article will be in the description to this episode.
Great.
I mean, so... Jen, maybe you can elaborate. Like, so where are we at in the rights process? SPTV, so does Sony have rights at all anymore or not?
They
Did
probably
revert back
still
to
do.
IWAT?
I don't know that for sure, and I don't know that there's no set like after 60 days / thing. Like I can't. There's nothing. It just depends on what their agreement is and how their agreement works. But I think they will probably be reverting back to IWAT momentarily if they haven't yet. But I don't know exactly when the Sony rights deal started. Was it 2018, 2017? I don't know when it was laid down. And so it is possible it was a 10-year deal, like that they like laid down 10 years right off the bat. I don't know. Or more. I mean, yeah.
Well, and just, I don't know. The thing that there's so much about this whole thing that pisses me off, but it's like, why? Like, Sony just did not shop it around, it sounds
Correct.
They did not.
Correct.
That's not a sound like, that's a fact. They did not shop it.
Why? Like, you already have this property. You already have, I get it. It's expensive, but at least, like, go to somebody who might be willing to make art because that's what it was. You know what I mean? And
so here's the weird thing that's happening right now in Hollywood. Of course, there's always something weird, but this is interesting because this is sort of a new development. So we've been in this like since pre-strike, since before the strikes. The streamers were like, "Oh fuck, we just got ourselves in over our heads. We don't know how to make money in this." Like the networks and the studios, who then became streamers, were like, "Oh shit, we don't actually know how to make money at this, and so how do we and we're making so much content, so we've been bleeding money for 5 years to like build up all this content to put on our streamers, so that when we have our streamers ready, we actually have something to put out there. We still only have 3 shows, but so all of that happened, and then with Amazon Originals, and Amazon decided they were like, we're going to put so much money into all of these things, and then the strikes happened, and then the industry is contracting, as everybody says, is like everybody's contracting because they're like there's too much content out there. A lot of
to be fair,
it's not wrong. It's not wrong. But during that time, what we also had was no one willing to take a risk on anything. So stupid, because the biggest things, Squid Games, Stranger Things, like anything that's really done well. Wednesday, which Wednesday's IP. But I guess what I'm saying is like, and Squid Games.
You mean original content?
Yeah, Squid Games being that they were like, oh, this isn't going to cost us anything. All we have to do is pick it up and put it on the air, and it's great. But we just want to make sure it's proven IP was the thing. Like for the last 3 years, the only thing I've heard is we are not taking original IP. We do not want original IP. We only want something that's proven. Now, that's gone. And they're like, unless it's ginormous, like Squid Games or Hunger Games or, something that is a really, really big IP that everybody knows that will just bring in gazillions of viewers. We don't want IP because we don't want to be locked into the canon. We don't want to be locked into the toxic fandoms who are like, this is what it is. And we don't like it because, and who might jump in. So like even with Marvel and any of the female-led properties in Marvel, you've got this very large swath of the population coming in and just trashing it online. So they're like, if we don't touch existing IP that somebody already has an opinion about, and we're just starting from scratch, now we're not going to deal with all those fans who are hating on it just because it isn't exactly what they want it to be. And I think, if it's a big property, and if it's a small property, they're like, then why bother if it's only going to bring over 10,000 eyeballs? Like, if it's a small IP, we might as well just go write your own version of it and give us that.
And yet so Amazon just bought Fourth Wing, so what the fuck? But anyway.
I know. And, well, Amazon is different, though, too, because they're, like, on the publishing side of it. They're like, they can then... They can monetize that in different ways. I know. So all of that to say, there's that. And here's something. This is, trust me, I do not. I still.
You know why? Actually, no. This is why.
How many of those cocktails did you have this morning?
Okay,
just checking.
Rob, I love you, and you do not represent the majority of your white cis male, but. Fourth Wing is female fans, and females are not so fucking tiny dick energy and can't fucking handle any other fucking thing. So, like, Fourth Wing is better because the fandom will be like, oh, this is great, whatever. And then those tiny little snowflake men just fucking get, Anyway, I love you, Rob. But you do not represent that. Like, you are a wonderful gem within that group. So,
thank you. I wouldn't have thought you were talking about me when you said that anyway. So
Yes.
the only people that get offended when you say things like that are the people that you are talking about.
Yes.
So, you know.
Yes. It is. No, I mean, look, like, you know, I don't know. I mean, toxic fandoms are out there no matter what. I mean, you know how much Star Wars means to me. And if I spin my camera around, you know, I could show you my original 1977s, which are all right in front of me. I mean, I'm a ginormous Star Wars nerd and Star Wars fan, and Megan named her daughter Leia. So, you know, we're here. But it is tough. It's tricky. And so here's what I was thinking. You mentioned Game of Thrones. You mentioned the article here saying that, like, Wheel of Time is bigger than Game of Thrones. Or better than Game of Thrones, arguably.
It didn't say
question.
that. It said the best fantasy since Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But here's the thing. If you talk about Game of Thrones, if you talk about Lost, and you talk to people in the fandom, what is the first thing people say?
The last season is terrible.
Yeah. They fumbled the football. They shit the bed. They, like, you know, everybody, the first thing people say is, if only they could have stuck the landing. If only they could have, I'm sorry, I'm using too many metaphors. If only they'd made the ending better. I'll just put it that way. you know, but like that is the first thing people talk about. This series, Wheel of Time, I'm not suggesting I don't want it finished because God knows I do. But this series has a tricky ending. It would have been, as we talked about last week, it's really tough to do the last battle, the most important part of the last, well, not most important, yes, arguably most important part of the last battle is Rand literally just sitting there being like, I'm thinking
Having
of a different
metaphorical.
future. I'm thinking of another different future. I'm thinking of another one, you know? It's like, great, I get to watch you think.
And that feels like time
episodes.
travel in a way, which is very overdone in the current climate.
Yes. Although we have a great setup for it in season 3 with the rings. So we have it. But it is, you know, it is really interesting. You know, I mean, how do you satisfy an audience at the end of a series that is so beloved? It is really difficult to do. People complain about the ending of MASH, like, you know, which was the first big ending of a series on television. And it's one of the things, and it's one of the things I fight with myself about, because I write both features and TV, and I love TV. I love having a long time to get to know characters. I love looking at a long arc and really getting to tell a story in detail and get into the nitty gritty and get into character work. I love that. The two things that make it hard for me and frustrating for me is, one, your game becomes, I hope we get picked up for another season, as opposed to, I've just written a 2-hour movie. It's done and done. We go to the movies, we watch it, end of story. Even if it's going to be multiples and it's going to be sequels and things, it's still like, here's my story enclosed. We did it, we produced it, we went home. Yeah. And there's something really wonderful about like being able to actually close your circle. With television, you just keep hoping that you get to, and you're sort of stuck in that limbo all along of like, I hope we get the next one. I hope this one is good enough to get the next one. I hope we keep our audience that long. And then when you get to finishing it, you're never going to satisfy everybody. There's absolutely no way. It is impossible. It is impossible. I don't think there's any television show out there where everybody has said it was a perfect ending. I mean, I hated the ending of Alias, and I love that show. Like,
I mean,
you know.
Now I feel like I need to go back and rewatch that.
Yeah, I love Star Trek a lot, and I look at the end of Voyager, I'm like, oh, you got back to Earth and didn't actually, you were like, you got, spoiler for Voyager apparently, you got through the tunnel to 50 ships, which are never floating around Earth. Every time there's an emergency, like, oh, we can pull 12 ships together. You're like, okay. And they're like, yeah, it'll be in my report. End episode. You're like, what? You know, and I love Voyager. And I've just literally earlier today, or last night, but I watched like the review of the 7 years thing today of TNG. And like, that's a great last episode. There's also like, you know, do I like some of the ending between Worf and Troy and other things like that, especially with how it works out later with Picard? Like, maybe not, you know, like. Yeah. So
it's, I know, I mean, okay. And I will argue that it's not Farpoint. What's the ending? All Good Things. That All Good Things is a really,
it's a very
excellent,
good. Yes.
excellent ending. But it is hard. It is hard. And Cheers, the last episode, yes. Cheers was like, but
I want to rewatch Cheers. Like, I remember just catching episodes like here and there growing up, but like I always hear it's just like one of the best written, executed television shows of all time.
We started watching with the kids, and my kids are too young to understand bar culture or anything, and they still love it.
We should rewatch that together, Rob.
Meg, how many shows are you got?
We have so many, but it's okay because we're just going to stay together forever, and I love it, and it's going to be fun.
I can't even get the chutzpah to get watching the shows I want to watch. I keep being like, no, I just need the comfort rewatch, and I'm like, no, I need to actually fucking do the stuff I'm going to say I'm going to do. So
I know. It's true.
I want to do it because I really want to rewatch Cheers. So let's do it.
Okay. So anyway, all I'm saying is that it's so where would we have felt at the end of, the only solace I'm taking, it's not a silver lining situation at all. I'm just taking some solace in the fact that we
ended on a fucking high. Yeah.
We ended on a fucking high. And it's leaving people like who are like, well, it was getting better. Even like assholes who've been like bagging on the show all along with like, well, they got some things right in season 3. Like there's a little, and they sound like that. That's how
really
they
good
sound.
imitation as well. That was so good. I was impressed, honestly.
Thank you. But so it's like it's a really sweet, happy place that I'm hanging on to. Of like, at least we aren't dealing with the toxic fandom saying like, I hated what they did with it. I hated what they did with the ending and like ruining the ending for us. Because
I mean, we do have the toxic fandom saying I hated what they did with it.
Well, I know they're still saying they hate what they did with it.
We didn't get there.
I know. But in a way, I don't know. I just like, because in part, like when Game of Thrones ended, even as upset as I was with the ending, I was like, yeah, but you've been telling us this from the beginning. We kind of knew where it was going. And we didn't know how the story was going to end because we hadn't read, their book wasn't written. Yeah. But
it's still not, and will never be.
It's not going to be because he's basically come out and said, like, the TV show did what I was going to do, basically, and so no one liked it, so why bother finishing it when I can do these other projects and still rake in millions?
I don't blame him.
I don't blame the guy at all.
I don't blame him, and I don't blame him because of how crazy the fandom got about it. Like, that's the thing, is like, I was like, look, I enjoyed the last season, and I was every week people were like, it's too dark, it's too this, why'd they do this, why'd they do this? I was like, okay, this is what I would have done differently, but I really still enjoyed it. And then you can't let go of everybody saying it. So anyway, that's all. I'm just saying that there's an aspect of like, I'm trying to hang on to at least what we ended with was really amazing. And I feel like that you can't argue that. Obviously, I know there's still people out there who argue
so basically the question is, would you rather finish early on a 10 or a 9?
No.
Or
no.
do you want to like get to the ends and it's
I
a 5?
think they would have ended on a 10.
I think they would have too. For me, For me,
I think
for sure.
But using the example of Lost and Game of Thrones and things like that hit 10s and 8s and 9s in the mid to late seasons that then ended on shit or 5s or whatever you want to call it. Like, if Wheel of Time did that, would you rather get 8 seasons that end on a 5 or 3 seasons that end on a 10?
No, I'd rather get 8 seasons. I would rather get 8 seasons. I mean, I
also would like it, yes.
I want it all, I'm hungry.
I still want to complete the story. I want to let those creators complete this story because, as we've always said, it's a different turning. And these actors,
I was literally watching, and you said, Jen. So I rewatched 307 last night with Wally for our weekly Wheel of Time and popcorn. And I was just like really sad, and I wanted to angrily start tweeting everybody again.
Because what is the ship name for Fail and Perrin? Is there a ship name? Pail?
No, because they get together. There's no ship name.
No, but they can still have a ship name.
They can still have a ship name.
Angelina had a ship name, and they were together.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
Farron.
Pail, Farron.
No, I'm sure there's something about bird in it.
Bashir, and I don't know. Anyway, all I'm saying is that I feel like
Bashira.
That sounds like a character from Jungle Book.
Yes,
or She-Ra, because I love She-Ra.
Or She-Ra. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I think. I don't know. I mean, I'm hanging out of that. Like, so sorry. I guess it's probably 15 minutes of me saying something that doesn't mean anything because I'm like, I still wish they would have finished it. So, and now I sound like the bros who are bagging on
Look,
it.
if they were forced to finish, Like they weren't allowed to make more. So I'm glad that at that point that happened, at least it was a 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm like, for example, let's say we got season 1 and they were like, nope, done. Like that
would have felt very unsatisfying.
Like wildly unsatisfying, because I think season 1 is its weakest season. There are continuity problems. There are casting problems for obvious reasons. There
COVID,
are many restrictions because of COVID. Like it made 7 and 8 a real fucking minefield to navigate, which in a weird way kind of, makes it a good comparison to the ending of the first book. But it's not what we wanted, and it's not what they wanted, and what it should have been.
I mean, Jen and I talked after that episode, and Jen was happy with it, and I was...
You were mad, and I was worried we were losing you. I thought Megan was going to the dark side. She was.
I know
really
people that did.
not
I know
happy.
people that absolutely did.
I
They
called
watched
you
that.
from the hotel lobby because I was in Madison. Like, it's a very vivid memory for me.
Yes,
like, I'd
you came
watched it
downstairs.
at Sarah's house with Ruth and Sarah. Sarah was a non-book reader. Ruth was a book reader. And I was like... I don't know why, but it was the whole circle incident where they like did the circle and people were burning out. And I was like, you can't do that! That's not how the magic works.
It was the closest you'd ever been to a book club, I will admit. Yes.
I know people that were like, I'm out after 307. Like that's it.
Okay, hot take. Amisa's saying it. And I'm leaning with her. So far, she says
308 I liked 308.
So far, the 8th episodes have been, in my opinion, one of the worst episodes of each season. I don't trust they would nail any ending. And honestly, writing an ending to a series, to a season, is so fucking hard because you are trying to tie up everything. You're trying to satisfy everything, and you're trying to also leave room for nexts if it's a season, not series ending. But I agree. I feel like there's moments of
308.
I like 208 and 308, but I felt like they didn't like quite wrap where I wanted them to like wrap up.
Well, especially 308 for you was you didn't get your Nynaeve Magedian moment.
Yeah. I wanted Nynaeve.
We were expecting. Yeah.
Or at least to do something. Can I see,
or like
see
a
your channel more than just
Leandrin? Like I could have said Nynaeve coming back after breaking her block and doing something with Leandrin. For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I love 208 because I was on the Uno's gonna be a hero train. Like posting that out every day. I'm like, it's gonna be a thing. I was that gutted me so hard when he died. Like I was, the shock. You can go watch it, people. It's recorded. And then when he came, back as a hero in 208, it was just like, vindication for, asking and begging and posting for it and saying this should be the thing. That was great. Obviously, just having him back was great because
and Guy also fucking with you during the whole season.
A Guy fucking with us. Like I know Guy. Guy's a friend. Like. I know what Wheel of Time means to him. I know what that meant to him coming back. It was a whole range of things. Yeah. And then I think I like 308 so much because I got what I expected from the final episode. I think I got to 306 and I was like, I know 307 is just the Battle of the Two Rivers, which means everything else that we've got up to in 306 has one more episode to wrap up in. And so instantly I was like, we're ending on a lot of unfinished storylines and a lot of highs and a lot of, that unknown. And so I went into 308 being like, we're not going to have anything finished or explained in this. So I fully expect all the cliffhangers. And they delivered all of that. And I was like, it's what I expected. It's what I predict. And it was satisfying for me because of that. You know? Was I satisfied with the unfinished stories? Well, no, obviously not. I want them to finish. But I went in with that expectation and got it, and it made me feel good as a result.
And I don't think we know this. I think we've talked about this, but did they recraft some things in that last episode because they knew that they were trying hard to dangle a carrot? Like they were trying hard to.
I've definitely heard that there was a lot of carrot dangling going on. Like if we end on a real you can't end it there. Like how can you stop there? Then. There's more encouragement for...
Yep. And I think, but for me, I think the unsatisfying parts of 8, the unsatisfying parts of 308, were all, were my favorite women. I mean, look, I'm not going to get into it because I know it brings up lots and lots and lots and lots of feelings. I don't agree with every way that they handled the swan stuff, but I was
agree with
okay with it on some levels, storytelling wise. Nynaeve, I loved seeing her break her block, but in part, because in the book, when she breaks the block, she explodes a fucking boat over her head and then flies out. Now, granted, I am so glad it wasn't Lan waiting there to save her, and that she's like, I have to look pretty, and she drops all the water out of her dress. I mean, I'm glad those things were not there. I'm glad
Doesn't
it was
Lan
just
drag
about
her out of the water?
I like how they did it in the show better.
Lan pulls her out. I
Okay.
do, but I wish I had just gotten the next thing, which is now I have my power and I'm going to do something with it, even if it were striding into the room and just blasting some doors open, to at least send Leanne skittering so that they have to chase her. I just wanted a little more with that. And then Egwene, the last moment of the whole thing. Which I wouldn't be
surprised if they had planned on that and just ran out of time.
Possibly. But then also, maybe. But then Egwene also, the last thing being Rand, please stop, as a whisper. This woman that we built so much time being powerful and strong and amazing, and like the thing the Collider article says of her stepping into her power, and where is her power in that moment? She's just watching him and being like, I don't like what's happening here, and I wanted her to stand up, then it's going to be me against you. I'm going to be the only one between you and you're crazy.
Well, she is the only one standing at the end. Everyone else is kneeling.
I know. I'm just telling you, I wanted more. I wanted something a little bit different for this. And so I agree. It's really hard. And but here's me who's 1,000% on board with this show.
Can I also say, you keep saying you want more of this stuff, yet you have been the biggest advocate saying that you think it can be done in 8 episodes. I think everything would have been better if it had been done with 10 episodes.
No. I've never said it should be 8.
She has definitely said that.
Stop.
Roll back the tape.
You and Jenny have to. I said it can be if it has to be. I never wanted to go down to 6, but I also, and I like the synergy of 8. That's probably what I was talking about, was I like that they made 8 the magic number, but I would always have preferred 10. I would always have preferred 10 for the show. And I don't want 26. I don't want 22.
No,
I don't want the
agree
old
with
game.
that. That I can agree with. But I think I feel like you have firmly
I've never said it should be 8 over 10.
Can be done.
I said it can be done. It can be done. But I would prefer 10. But 8 can be done. And 8 becoming the magic number, I was like, I like it when magic numbers both inside and outside of production match up. I mean, that just works for me.
If we'd had 8 seasons of 8 episodes and 8 clans and 8 Ajas and 8 Forsaken and 8 so on and so forth, 8 Charlotte clans, it just would have really.
Or we could have done 13.
Oh, I mean, look at me. I was Mom.
Mom's in chat. Mom's in live chat. Now, girls.
Mom. Now, girls. I know she does not like to see her girls fighting. I mean, I was mad when Sanderson was like, oops, it's going to be 14. I was like, and when Jordan was like, it was going to be 12 or something, I'm like, hello, people, 13. It has to be 13. It has to be 13. So.
But since the whole last book was basically the last battle,
I'm not a numerologist. Let me just put that out there right now. I'm not a numerologist. I like.
But there is something to enjoy about things like that, So
yeah.
I do love how we were supposed to sit here and discuss character.
I know.
We read one article about half an hour ago, and
we're just chaos, and it's organic, and just let it flow where it may.
That's right. That's right.
Now, correct me if I get this phrase wrong, Jen. But do you want to have a discussion and sort of build the foundation of some character for our season 4 stuff now, or shall we talk about something else? And if you're confused about what I mean by saying laying the foundation, let me use a phrase that you prefer. Shall we lay pipe, as I hear on Babylon?
Did you just listen to that one?
Oh, no. Rob's a new fan of Babylon 5, which I have not been listening to.
I have not. I've not even watched Babylon 5 even. That's the best thing about it. But I've been listening to the Babylon podcast. And last week, I'm about 2 episodes ahead of this. But yeah, Jen was talking about. Tell us the story yourself.
You're very funny. Oh yes. Okay. So I was discussing that. I was discussing character building and how you you put certain things down early on that you hope to pay off later on, or you know a character is going to have a certain arc, so you make sure that you support that by scaffolding, by having some things like in the early days that are going to be that. And I was on with Allie and Gus and Jenny, and we were talking about how people misuse phrases, or how phrases that we use even in a year are going to suddenly be a dirty phrase, and you're like, oh God, we have to go back and edit our podcast from 2 years ago because language changes and trends. And right after we said that, I said, yeah, because when you're trying to build out the story arc here, like you got to lay pipe. And I sounded like that when I said it because I was the bro dude when I said it again. And they were all like, you can't say that, Jen. You can't say that. And I'm like, no, you're right. But
why? I'm sorry. Can you please explain to me why can't we say that?
Laying pipe?
Yes.
It's just a euphemism for sex, for riding the rail.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Meg's face was so innocent then, folks.
I'm like, I don't understand why.
I had just been talking about doing some, and plumbing. Thank you. Plumbing, exactly. Yes. Ami says, and plumbing. I had just been doing some plumbing planning in my house, and I was changing some pipes around and doing things. And I think of laying pipe as if you're going to be the
foundation of
putting
the
in a water system. Yeah.
And a plan.
And a plan, you do, and then you keep going. Yeah. So anyway, that was it. Laying pipe is not what we should be saying. Other things. Not
well, that one's not quite so a social taboo. More than just it's a bit. There's a lot of innuendo behind it. So
it's a lot of innuendo. It can be dirty. Sorry, we could lay some pipe.
Yeah,
should we lay some pipe?
Let's lay some pipe around characters. Meg's just I am being quiet because Mom is watching.
All right, we're going full spoilers for the show, right?
Yep.
Yes. Reminder, folks, full spoilers when we do this.
Full spoilers. So because what I was thinking was, last week I talked a lot about how I really have to backwards engineer the plot points, the story points. It's not different really with character arcs. I want to make sure I know where they're going on the long end, so that I make sure that we're not too far there in season 4. Interesting, if you just listen to that Babylon 4 episode, I think that's actually
Babylon 5?
The one I mentioned, Babylon 4, Babylon 5 episode. Babylon is the name of the podcast, not Babylon 5 or 4. I don't know anything. We're talking about season 4.
I do enjoy listening, folks. If you are into sci-fi discussions and you have the ability to watch Babylon 5, I'm sure it's better. Do go listen to Babylon podcast. It is, if you just listen to the podcast, you're a Charlie. That you'll find out why later. But if you're able to, do watch the live video reactions. I listen while I'm working, so that's why I'm a Charlie. But I also, aside from seeing the odd episode here or there, I don't actually watch the episodes to match up because they're not free here in the UK on Prime like they are in America, apparently.
They're not currently now. They just took them off.
But they just took them off. Oh, wow. They must have heard about the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys were profiting off of their show.
Yes, right. But it's very entertaining just to listen to the 4 of them because Jenny and Jen, Ali and Gus, all amazing human beings, all hilarious and fun to listen to. But the 4 of them together, it's a beautiful combination. I keep listening and being like, oh, I kind of wish I was an expert on Babylon 5 just so I could come hang out for an episode. You know?
Oh, we'll bring you in for I've never seen it. I don't know what the hell's going on kind of episode. I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I know some of the things. You know, what's it like Hitler with a arm cannon or something like that. You know,
yes.
and
cockroach Hitler with an arm cannon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
the hell?
And then I listen to the Grey Council as well, so I know some bits from later on.
Oh yeah, well, if you're listening to Grey Council, then you definitely you get spoilers. But it's fine. It's one of the things we were talking about in that show was that because it was 22 episodes, and because at the beginning JMS, J. Michael Straczynski, who created and wrote the show, was trying to convince the studio that don't worry, it's not too serialized, even though his entire thing from the beginning was, this is a story with a beginning, middle, and end, and it has to be told in sequence. So he was trying to make sure that they could like feel like they were one-offs, you know, like he could, like some of them are a little bit one-offy in season 1. And one of the things that happened was sometimes they would be done because of special effects, they'd be done with an episode sooner. And this is back before you would like deliver a full season before it aired. This was back in the day when you were only 3 or 4 episodes ahead sometimes. And so there's an episode in the middle called TKO that has a story about this character named Ivanova. And JMS's intention was for that to be at the end of the season, and that was sort of the wrap up of her character arc. And suddenly you have this moment in the middle of the season where she like wraps up this thing that we start at the beginning with her father's death and how she feels about it. And so like now she as a character doesn't have her emotional journey. Spoilers. She as her character does not have an emotional journey to get through the end of the season. It's an ensemble cast. There's a lot of other shit going on. It's fine. It'll work. But that's what I'm talking about when I say I want to make sure that we aren't doing something too early in season 4 or too early by having it even apply in season 4. We talked about this with Nynaeve's arc. Like, you know, when is she...
Perrin's arc too.
Yeah, and like when is Nynaeve going to break her block? Like in the books, it feels like it's fucking forever. And then every time I go back and read it, I'm like, wait, already? Like, I mean, I think because in real time for me, having been reading them as they were coming out.
Waiting for 6 years or 7 years. Yeah.
Oh, no, it was more than that.
It's Crown of Swords, wasn't it?
Yeah. Was that, when did it come out?
7 or 8?
98? I don't know. It felt like a fucking lifetime.
It was 98? 98 was Path of Daggers. So I want to say it was 90 to 97.
Probably. So it wasn't really that long, but it felt like 20 years. It felt like
7 years is a long time.
It is a long time. A long time. But anyway, I just want to make sure we know where our characters are going in the end. And I want to make sure that we can then, season 4 being essentially at the end of season 4 is going to be our midpoint of 8 seasons. Then let's make sure that by the end of season 4, we are, you know, where they should be. And Meg, I do think we should just keep it to 8 episodes per season because I think we should stick with what's...
because that's what the plan was. No, I totally get it.
Okay.
I just wanted to state that you had said that it should be 8 episodes, but I really think it should be 10, but okay.
Well, I mean, yes. In a perfect world, it would have been 10. And then we could have had 10 Forsaken.
Anyway.
In a perfect world, we would still have,
the wheel
you
of
know...
time.
It could still happen, though.
22
I mean, like, look,
long episode seasons, you know,
I know that
TV.
I've been the Debbie... I know I've been the Debbie Downer all along about it, and the chances continually, as every day goes by, the chances get smaller in some ways.
Smaller.
And yet, you know, shit comes back. You never know. You never know. Serenity, fly, firefly.
Okay.
It took a while.
I don't know if I could deal with a movie to wrap it up.
I don't know if I could either. But maybe. Maybe.
You'd have to just... Yeah, anyway,
or a trilogy. A trilogy of movies. Okay, sorry. Go on. Anyway. Okay.
Let's do character, because otherwise the last 10 minutes have been...
And we'll just do some mains today, like hit some mains and not like do much. And so like just because...
5, yeah.
But I was going to say let's start with Maureen.
Oh, okay.
Because...
Yeah.
Well, you know, because... well, I think she'll be the fastest one to do.
Yes, she would be the fastest one. This is
right.
True.
I mean, full season arc. Okay, full spoilers if you're not with us. If you're not full spoilers, run away right now. Full season arc, she's got to die and come back.
Yes.
So, and she needs to be back. And we talked about where she would come back last week. Like, does she come back at the very beginning of season 8 or at the very end of season 7 as a sort of like, what? You know, but I think we need to lose her in season 4.
Yes.
In order to get there. So I think season 4 has her death or, you know, going
and I was thinking about this. You have to reveal that she's in the tower in order for the motive. Like, I know, maybe we did talk about like not revealing that she's in the tower, and Matt is just.
You mean at the end?
No. I like prior to that, because if you're even if you reveal that she's, you know, the one rescued in season 8, not in 7, you need to motivate Matt and the others to go to the tower. So like you can't just try and make her a surprise in 801 and expect Matt to decide in 706 or whatever to run off to the tower to be like,
right,
because you can't say I'm off to rescue Maureen because that gives it away. So yeah, he'd need some kind of motivation unless we wanted to give it away in season 7 that she was technically still alive and technically salvageable.
So where this differs from the show to the book. So in the book, while she was in the rings, that was where she saw her demise at the wagons and her potential rescue through the Tower of Genji. They didn't show that. I mean, granted, they could just be like, we didn't show it or whatever. But do we think that they were planning on going a different route?
And not going to the Tower of Genji for her.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've eliminated, as in the three of us, have eliminated her leaving a letter for her beloved Tom. Please come rescue me.
Right.
Matt may help you, may not, but wait till he asks. I think we've eliminated that, so we need some other way for someone to find out she's there and needs rescue.
I mean, here's the other thing. So that they set up there, you know, in the show, we still have our unreliable narrators, and Maureen is seeing her possible future. But what she's seeing is the future of Lanfear killing her, which is what she believes to be true. I mean, there is the like, if I go through the doorway with Lanfear, then there's a possibility you can rescue me. Only if it's 3 people. Only if Matt asks first. Only if all of these things lay in place, is there a possibility to save the world? You know, it's like, and there honestly, you are literally writing yourself into a corner with that in terms of the storytelling. I mean, I like the possibilities and the don't quite know the possible futures being a little better. And wasn't there even a line in the show that she says to Avienda or something, or like, or that Rand says to Avienda, like, do you remember what happened? It's fading, but I have some, or maybe it's from the book, you know, it's fading, but I have some idea. Like I have the still general feeling. And so I think
it's like those main bullet points that she remembers, like the details start to go away.
We also know that terangrial, when terangrial interact or connect, that they lose some of their, not potency, but like they can interact with each other. So she was going through the rings. The rings told her that led to her death by Lanfear's hands, pretty much. But if her death is now going to be involved with another terangrial, I feel like that's rewriting a future already. So I think and maybe they were going to play with this in the show, but I think the idea is she's like, I'm supposed to die. I'm going to die. I won't be she thinks she's not going to be at the last battle. Yes. But because her death is now going to take place at a doorway, if we get the door frame as we want it to me, that's rewriting it. That's potentially rewriting it. She's suddenly now that terangrial is fucking with the other terangrial, or the terangrial she was in the rings. It can't see the possible future that involves her using another terangrial. And so, I mean, because I think maybe they were going to get rid of it, but I don't think they would have brought Matt through the red doorway this quickly if they weren't going to actually take Maureen through the red doorway too at some point. I do feel like I don't know. Maybe they were going to take it out completely. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
We can do what we like.
Well, and Matt still had the opportunity to go through another doorway where he's getting answers, not gifts.
Yeah.
And that could have potentially been after Maureen goes through, but then the doorway wouldn't be accessible.
Yeah. If it melts. If it melts. Well, so that means, do we get Matt? I mean, I think, okay. All right, let's jump down to Matt and we'll come back to Maureen in a second because I think this is relevant. I think it's connected.
Well, they do intertwine. So.
They do.
Yes.
Okay, so Matt, by the end of the season, we know Genji, like the Tower of Genji is going to be part of it. We want to say that it will be for Matt. And then, and like, okay, this is another frustrating thing from the books for me, and I don't know how I want to handle it in the series since we can make the decisions as the three of us. All right. This is the fact that Matt isn't fucking connected to the horn for the entire fucking series, hasn't been connected to the horn since book 5 or 6. Isn't that annoying? Isn't that annoying at the end? Is it a little?
It feels like, it's almost like one of those series where it's like, and then he wakes up and it was all a dream.
Yeah.
Kind of. Like
it's like a cousin to that type of story.
They're like, get the horn to Matt. Get the horn to Matt. Fail's like fucking like laying under a pile of dead horses, and she's like, get the horn to Matt. And dead Trollocs. She's under the Trollocs.
Lying under a pile of dead horses.
Isn't Fail under the dead Trollocs at some point? Yeah. Okay. So anyway, but it's like, get the horn to Matt. Get the horn to Matt. I love Oliver doing what Matt does, which is like, I'm out of options. I guess I'm just going to blow this fucker. I like that mirror, but I like the whole idea that the whole time they all think Matt is still connected to it, and you have to get it to Matt for it to work. Otherwise, we won't get the Heroes of the Horn at the last battle. Why didn't they just like fucking fuse it to him from the beginning? Like, you know,
like make it where like Amaterasu like makes it disappear and go back. Like he can do something similar. You mean?
Or just like literally tie this on your body and don't take it out. There's an aspect of
I think RJ left that in there so that he could say, well, everyone thought it was for Matt, so no one bothered to try and get the horn until the actual battle, because well, it's just a horn. It's pointless for me. I'm an average Joe on the street. I'm a white cloak. I'm in this. I'm at that. Like, what's the point? And then when the final battle came around, the Shadow's like, yeah, okay, we'll steal it because then you can't use it against us. Haha, we good for us.
Right. Right.
And I think that was just RJ's way of saying, well, if I don't point out that Matt died, or make that a big deal, and I kind of hide that in the subtlety, then I don't have to write in the rest of the story how they're constantly trying to protect the fucking horn from everybody.
Yeah. I mean, there is that of like, you're right, no one else can take it unless Matt's dead. But it does also, like, and they did set that up right in the show as well, which is like, you're the only one who can blow it, so basically you're going to be, assassins are going to be coming after you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And I do feel like, yes, and I think that informs Matt's character a lot, but it continues to inform. I mean, like, does he think the Golem is coming after him to, like, I feel like they dropped that a little bit in the books. Like, I feel like if we're going to keep that in the show, that, like, then he needs to think that the Golem who's coming after them is coming after him specifically because it wants to kill him because he's attached to the horn. And every assassin who comes after him is coming after him. If we still see him die and come back, like Balefire Bale, do we? Is it?
It's
do we know?
Balefire, isn't it?
It's the Balefire, not
but I'm like, he died from hanging. Like his heart stopped. Like I don't. Yeah.
Matt the cat with 9 lives. Yeah,
Matt
I mean,
the cat, yeah.
I think people have. Isn't there? Is it because of the Balefire, or is it because of the hanging, or is it
canonically?
We already did talk about this.
RJ said canonically it was the Balefire.
It was the Balefire. Yeah.
But
which I think is also an interesting. I don't know. Your heart can stop, but he was still revived from that. Like, not like reverse engineer.
So your
pattern.
soul was still attached enough to your body.
So there's a time limit.
Survived.
You have to be. Right. You don't just have to die. You have to be dead for a certain period of time.
Well, I mean, that's even like what happens with the Dark One bringing, transmutating somebody or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So we can still have that.
Transmigrating. That's the word.
All right.
We're getting bogged in logistics.
Metaphysics.
And I do. Yes, we are. Which of course we are. So I like the idea then that Oliver just like gives up and has nothing else to do. I like that recreation of, in fact, I would want to see Oliver in a similar kind of thing of like, fuck, they're all coming after me, and like set up the cameras the same way then, and have him like just be like, well, I guess I'll fucking blow it and hope for the best. And then he does, and then it works. I think that's great. And I love Oliver becoming a hero of the horn. I love all of that. That works for me. So I just think there needs to be...
he didn't technically become a hero of the horn. He was
not a horn,
like,
sounder, no, but just attached.
And the horn sounder, yeah.
There's the whole thing, too, about Matt being like, I'm one of you. That's like a slightly different...
that one I wasn't 100% sure on. But I think they were just trying to be like, you are a hero reborn, but not Ada Hawkwin. Like, interesting.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know, but and then also like that's where his, like the memories start coming after the horn. I don't know. There's a lot we have to like figure out how to justify that's different, right? Yes. With Matt. But if he's going to the Tower of Genji, he's no longer attached to the horn, but we think he is. So we're trying to get the horn to him. What else does Matt do in the last battle? And then the dragons.
Well, he's the main general after
he's
Drendel.
Yeah, I mean that to me is that's the that he steps into his role as general and leader. That
and becomes Notai.
Oh, I forgot that completely.
Oh yeah, like he kidnaps the daughter of an empress and marries her. So.
Okay, can we just say right now that because Brandon Sanderson loves Matt so much, and because everybody does, Matt's a little top heavy at the end of this series.
Which you just said you forgot what he
I did, though. That's what I mean. No, he forgot. He's got to be the general. He's got to bring all of his battle stuff into play. He's got to go to the Tower of Genji and rescue Maureen. Okay, that can happen in season 7. That's fine. He's got to go 4, 5, 6, 7. Hang on. Season.
And you're keeping
7.
track of all this, right? Because I'm not doing it.
Yeah, because I forgot to write anything down last time. Yeah. Okay. So I think yes, but he's also got to be the connection to the Shanshan, so he can bring them back at the last moment when he's got the whole plan with Tuan about like, you guys are going to look like you're leaving, but you're not really leaving, and you got to come back. He's got to bring fucking Hinderstep into it, and we already said I really want to see that because I just love it. Like,
yeah,
bring some
I was
zombies
listening to
into
a
the last
debate
battle.
about how that works. Yeah.
All of that hinges on Matt, and I'm a little bit like, really, you're going to give Perrin an axe? Perrin gets to make a hammer. Perrin gets to make a hammer. I mean, okay, Perrin does more than that.
He
Perrin
kills Lanfear, which maybe, well,
does he?
Which is going to happen
true.
in our version of the show. She does not survive.
Does he? Does he? Does he?
That's true. I forgot.
Yes, and there's the whole.
Your name is not Jen Hatch. It's Jen Sedai. Okay, so
We'll see. Yes, and there's the whole spike. There's the whole dream spike and him like kind of saving Egwene, which also fucking pisses me off, and like being like, it's just a weave, and I'm like, you don't fucking teach her about Tel'aran'rhiod. Have your own version of it. Do your own shit, but don't teach her about it. You can't.
well, the way we do that is because yes, in the books there's a little bit. When I read that, I was like, he's just saying how he sees it. He has no idea of her knowledge and learning because he's just been like, this is not a power thing. This is how wolves manipulate the dream. And I think there's like it's a half sentence statement where it's like, or a statement that's missing more accurate descriptions in it. And what he means is it's just a weave, but it's just a dream weave. Like it's in the dream. Thus, I can manipulate it because that's what wolves do, and I have the same power. Like,
well,
but it comes across like, well, this is how you do it, good, and that's
well, and I get it more like Egwene is very academic about everything, and where he is just like, I don't want to say, like I was gonna say like ignorance, but I don't want to say that and make him feel dumb. Like,
no, he's ignorant about how the power works.
Right.
And that's where Egwene is rooted in how when it comes to doing stuff in the dream world.
Yeah.
She's rooted in doing it via the power.
Yes, and she's so powerful outside of the dream world that it is her crutch. It becomes a crutch of like when I'm in the dream, I'm still going to rely on the one power.
Yeah.
Even though she's so powerful as a dreamer, I feel like. Amis, by the way, in case you don't know this, I have.
I am like typing right now furiously.
No. I'm right that she can get knocked down, but I think she needs to get knocked down.
Everyone needs all the characters deserve knockdowns now and again.
No.
So I still refer to Bear in the show as actually Amis because I think it's actually Amis. But anyway, Amis in the show, Bear in the show, whoever it is. Now here's the problem: Amis Bear in the show does channel. I want Egwene to learn the lesson from Bear. I want Egwene to learn the lesson. If she's going to learn the lesson of you're relying too much now on your power, you have a different kind of power. Use your head, because that's what they were trying to teach her at the very beginning of Tel'aran'rhiod in the books. And I want that. I love that. I love that she has to relearn that lesson because she's been relying on the power itself for so long. She carries around Forrest Sangreal, and she's like, "Come at me, bitch!" But like, I do think that there's like. She does. So I think having her like have to relearn something from her simplest, earliest days is great. But I want her to learn it from the Aiel who don't channel, the Aiel Dreamwalkers who don't channel.
So Mullane in the show.
So Mullane in the show, and be like, you already know everything you have, and I can, and Mullane in Tel'aran'rhiod is like, it's just a weave, girlfriend. Like, just settle down.
Would that feel better if Mullane said that instead of Perrin?
Yes. And then if Perrin
feels very mansplainy.
It feels mansplaining, and it feels like Perrin's saving Egwene. Like, I didn't chop your head off when we were in the woods, but I'm going to teach you how to use your own power. But yes, sorry. That's how Perrin talks.
Okay, so that's fine.
You sound like a Muppet.
You did sound like a Muppet. It's great. It was like if Kermit had a cousin type voice. It was very cute. So how about Melaine does some training at some point with, Right, sorry, I'm going to start this sentence again because I just got notification from Riverside. Ashrikova's battery is at less than 20%. Tell them to plug it into a charger so the session is... Ashrikova, like... maybe Ashrikova's like in here with video turned off or something. And it's actually... I'm going to get 4 lines. That would be
amazing.
Ashrikova, your battery's at 20%. So bizarre. Okay. So, how about we get Melaine doing some training with Egwene?
Okay, so make a note of that. You're in charge of the notes.
All right. Full season train. I don't mind it coming at the end. And also, I like Melaine making it all the way to the end.
Yeah, I like that too. But she could do some training in the next season with Egwene about, how to use the Dream World and that. Maybe she could just totally, she could say to Egwene, like, all right, try and stop me. Like, however you wish, power, whatever. And she tries to immobilize Melaine with the power. And Melaine's just like, boop, done. This, just like knocks it casually to one side or whatever. And Egwene is stunned and she's like, well, it's just a version of that line, not the exact line.
Yeah.
And then instead of later on it feeling mansplaining from Perrin if we keep it in, it becomes a reflection of being like her remembering, oh, I am relying on the power in the dream world. And that's fine.
Yeah.
But
So
I also don't, I'm also trained to use the dream.
Yes. I love her saying, I loved her saying to Perrin, how did you do that? But I didn't like him coming back with like, duh.
Yeah.
And that's where I think it is. Because I did like that
we
she's
could
back
tweak
with her
the
EF5.
line.
Yeah. We could tweak the line and tweak the way in which it happens. And when he's like, I don't know any different. He's like, this is just what's obvious to me, and that's what's obvious to you.
Yeah.
I have one other thing. I like it coming from Melaine, but now I have like a slightly different thing that would maybe be a season 4 thing, and
Okay.
Megan's gonna hate it.
Oh dear.
No.
So this is something I enjoy along the way, which is the dynamic of Nynaeve and Egwene changing, and Nynaeve having been her teacher. But Nynaeve then never gets a moment back in the series, in the book series. I feel like we get to watch her be whiny about it, and like, and she never has a moment where she drops any wisdom for Egwene again after their dynamic changes, which is unfortunate.
Egwene is the wisest of us all.
Shut up. She's not. She isn't actually.
She's vindictive when it comes to
and she's blind about
Nynaeve.
things.
The bear.
I know.
The bear.
So what if? Okay, because let's go back to we're getting everybody's in here. Nynaeve, season 4.
There are notes being taken, people, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Eventually,
I hope there are, because
there'll be some kind of thing put together that we'll eventually post and be like, this is what we took 22 episodes to put together, you know, which you can't follow.
End of season 4, Nynaeve captures Moggy, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that would happen. So here's the thing. So I don't think that conversation with Egwene may happen until season 5, because what does Nynaeve do? Nynaeve, I love, this is one of my favorite, like, inside the characters' heads moments in the books. It's one of the, we don't get that many chapters with Nynaeve, even in the first few books. It's not till, but in book 4, we get, in book 5, in book 4, we get in Nynaeve's head when she captures Moghedien.
And she's fighting her.
When she's fighting her.
Right.
And she says,
in the Panarch's palace.
And she says, there's no way she's like, she has the moment where she realizes, oh my God, I'm standing toe to toe with a Forsaken who is working just as hard as I am.
Yes.
Like, we are matched, and I can't, there's like, her first thing is, there's no way I could beat a Forsaken. And then she's like, wait, the fuck, I'm beating a Forsaken. And she has that moment. I think she doesn't actually capture her till book 5. So I stopped reading.
Well, she catches her and freezes her, and then walks away for some reason or something or whatever, and then she's gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
She uses just a little, she like pretends to be weak and then uses that last bit to freeze her and hold her in air, but then she can unravel that weave. Yeah. When she is able to use the, and then she goes through the whole like, I'm not worthy phase, and Brigitte and all of that happens, and she feels like really guilty for all of that. When she finally captures Moghedien, she does it with the Adam that she creates in world. It's not the one power. She's using a terangrial to capture her, and she's like,
And it's
I
created
can't.
from
And it's
Teleran
created
Riyadh.
from what she wants in Teleran Riyadh, not from what exists. And if Moghedien was smarter, she could just make it go away.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I'm like,
It would be that
doesn't have to
power
work.
of wills that you get between Egwene and Missana. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like I feel like that's something that maybe it's Nynaeve who reminds Egwene.
It's just
Like,
Nynaeve.
yeah, you're relying on I am more powerful in the one power than you. But when I'm in the dream, you are more powerful than me because you're so good at Teleran Riyadh. Stop relying on your one power and use your mental
And
power.
there's a fun like book connection to that, because how does she beat Moghedien at one point? By punching her.
Yeah.
They're going toe to toe, and she's just like, "What is everyone?" Bam. Okay, now I've beaten you because you've taken your eye off the ball because I socked you in the face. You know, like
know
it's the
what?
same principle. You're so
But you know
focused on
what?
just what can I do with the power? What can I do with the power? What can I do with the power?
Exactly.
And then you're like, you forget the other things that come into that.
Thinking
Yes.
outside the box. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Or going back to your roots and going back to
thinking
your roots.
outside the weave.
She needs her thumping stick.
She needs her thumping stick,
Thumping
which
stick.
then makes me go back to the book cloaks who are like, the fuck? What's she doing killing a Trolloc? Nynaeve is a healer. She's peaceful.
She thumps and boxes ears left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Also,
punches Moghedien.
Trollocs are evil creatures. Like there's, it's like killing a murderer. It's you're doing a justice. Okay. So yeah.
Okay, so I like Egwene learning that lesson. I don't know that she's necessarily going to get it quite. Maybe she starts that lesson with Melaine. I love that like she's
Yeah.
getting the Melaine training in season 4. Then in season 5, after maybe, or even season 6, but after
Capturing
they catch Moghedien,
Moghedien.
after Nynaeve catches Moghedien, she once again is like, but you're, and I would even love to have that conversation where Nynaeve says to Egwene, just because I'm stronger in the power in the real world doesn't mean I'm stronger in the power. I'm stronger than you here. You have trained more than me. You know more. Rely on that.
Yeah, because
Not-
you could.
not
So
on your-
would we have that cleansing of the tower from like Missana and such? Would that be in season 6 then?
Oh,
I think it has to be 7.
7.
I think 7
Yeah.
too.
So and you're just going to hold on to that Nynaeve moment until season 7, or
Well, you
Maybe.
can be like hitting them throughout. Like,
yeah, but I think
I don't want to drop
can
it.
set some
I
of
feel
it-
like if we drop it too many times, it becomes
Yeah.
heavy-handed.
a repeated beat. Yeah.
But I think we can hear it. I think we see it with Melaine in the beginning in season 4. Maybe we see it with Perrin at some point. Getting maybe it does come all the way to 8, and he just says it again or something. But maybe Nynaeve hits it in season 6 because. To me, it would have to happen after when Nynaeve is at her like, oh my god, I hate that you are so much like more than me. That your status is so much higher.
well,
than
it
me,
would
that
be
I'm
it would be
feeling-
after Egwene was made Amerlin at that point, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So it would be after Egwene was Amerlin. When do we think that would happen?
Well, that's a good question too. Does that happen at?
I think she would get called at the end of season 4.
Yeah.
And so,
So
either
do you
get
mean-
raised
you
at the end of
mean-
season 4 or raised at the beginning of season 5.
Yeah, because I think season 4 we're at Saladar and we're seeing that it's like
Starting to form.
Yeah, I think you
And
could
you
have
could
a
sell it or
called at the end of 4, and then depending on how time works out, either shown in 5 as raised, or the raising in 5, depending on time.
And Nynaeve and Elaine, I mean, in the books, are at Saladar before Egwene shows up there.
Yeah, I think she captures. Yeah.
No,
They
I mean,
are.
no, that makes sense.
No.
No, I agree. At the end of season 4, she captures Moghedien, and then Egwene shows up there.
We need some sort of payoff from her being the power. Having
I
a
feel
freedom
like-
to the power.
I feel like okay. This if I'm thinking in Rafe's head, and I don't mind this, so maybe it is what we want to go. We started season 1 with the whole like who's going to be the dragon. I also think that all the things that are accomplished by Nynaeve and Elaine being in Saladar first are lame and not really a part of the story in the show. It's a lot of it's like figuring out that Swan and Leanne are actually working together. We know that's not happening.
Right.
And then aside from the healing of Logain, healing, I think the healing is super important. So maybe Nynaeve does get there first, but I'm not sure. And here's why. What if all 3 of them get called to Saladar at the same time? and we
Ooh.
don't know who the biddable child is. What if all three of them get recalled to Saladar or show up in Saladar or whatever at the same time? So we end season 4 with all three of the Wonder Girls, and maybe Avienda as well, being brought into into Saladar, and we don't know.
We'd also have to have a reason why Egwene would go back, because
they get summoned.
She gets summoned.
Yes, but Egwene's relationship with the White Tower is very different in the show.
That's true. She's chosen
Because she just
She was just like, fuck you, I got my ring and left. So
I
she needs
think
a
it still
reason to
fits.
be called back.
I think it still fits. I think just being summoned back, she's had all she can learn from Melaine. Okay. Rand is clearly doing his own thing. Moraine is gone. She's feeling a little listless, and the tower summons her back, in a very ominous way. I think would go back. I think
Do you think?
And she's like,
however, okay, so this is where I'm going. I think she's seeing like the way she was reacting with Rand at the end of season 3 and her testing is she's very nervous where Rand is headed with his insanity. And so maybe she's looking for an ally in the White Tower, potentially against Rand.
Yeah. Exactly. The way Rand is at the end, maybe we begin season 4 and they absolutely continue to butt heads. And then
I can see them butting heads and her saying, you need balance.
Yeah.
You
maybe
need
during
to have...
her training, with Melaine, she sees flashes from her archway experiences, and oh God. Then we get to see like Rand going crazy and killing people. Not that I want to see people die.
Do we think that Nynaeve and Elaine were killed in her testing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. At least one
There's
of them.
a lot of blood.
It's a lot of blood. Anyway, like I think she could see that the way he's going. There's no Moraine. Melaine's just like, well, you've had 30 minutes training from me. After 2 minutes training with us, you could do 1,000 things in the previous season. So this season, 30 minutes is plenty. Sorry.
Right.
She went from, I don't know how to do anything to, I can do this to, yeah, I can do whatever you want, Moraine. I'll take you anywhere you like.
Well, she is Egwene fucking Elvir.
But it was like in a single episode.
I know.
Yes, that is how she works.
I got you, girl.
Anyway, even when she was talking to Moraine, she's like, not sure about that. I've only just started to learn.
But I'm going to fucking do it anyway because I'm fucking awesome.
But we'll try, and here we go. Not only did I drop you off, but I can find everyone fucking else.
Yes, Laura, that's right. It's called a talent.
Yes. Okay, fair enough. It was
With a
entertaining. It wasn't a complaint more than, it was just, I was like, did anyone actually look at this objectively? It feels a bit quick. Anyway, she could do her trading in that. I feel like I've lost my point now. What was I saying? Get the flashbacks.
There wasn't a point because Egwene's just amazing. That's okay.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Get those like images or something and just be concerned to be like, right, Rand needs a balance, and I need to complete my Aes Sedai training. Like I've completed my Wise One training, my Dreamwalking training. I need to complete Aes Sedai training, and then the tower summons her. So maybe she takes herself back. But I like the summoning.
But she would go to the tower, and this is where
good point.
Because she would go to
Yes.
the tower, but the last thing she said to Swan was, "Y'all got your shit fucked up. Like I'm out of here until you guys are eating each other from within." On one level, I feel like they have set her up to be. The last thing she would do would be to go take the job as the Amerlin of the fucking rebels, because she's like, this tower is eating itself from within. That's only going to continue the divide. I like her getting forced into it in a way. Like, she's sort of like, it's,
Well, when you were summoned to the hall, you can't
When
refuse.
you're summoned, you either can't refuse or you're gone to us forever.
Yeah.
And she's like, we need to be whole again. I will. And I also here's one of the things that the whole, the middle of the entire series is all Egwene for me all the time. Megan. I love her. And when I go back and reread, I skip everything else and I just read the Egwene stuff first. And then I go back and read everything. But her stepping in when she gets raised, and, there's a moment she's raised, and then she's like, everybody kind of dissipates, and then she's like, well, that was sort of weird. And then Swan shows up and she's like, you're going to teach me how to do this job correctly, or whatever, which I think is so amazing and lovely. And we're all sad we don't have that. I would like to see Egwene be the biddable child for about 35 seconds. And she gets that stole on her shoulders and she's like, buckle up, bitches, because we are going to go back and take the tower. We have to put the tower back together. And this needs to happen. And I think all of the Winter's Heart stuff and all the slog stuff and all the like fucking going through the snow forever and we never get to the tower, like it's going to have to happen more quickly. And so now, I don't think she's going to get raised in the beginning of, well, I don't know. I like her getting called a Saladar at the end of 4.
Yeah.
And then raised at the beginning of 5 or end of 5.
But it could be mid-5. It could be mid-5. If she's 6, 7, and 8,
it's a very quick process. As soon as she gets back, she's raised that night. So I feel like it would have to be at the beginning of season 5.
It has to be. Yeah.
And then you see her journey of getting, and then I feel like she would maybe have to pull that whole thing. Like it's all the politicking through season 5. And either mid-season 5 or end season 5, she's got like the war powers or whatever.
I think that I feel like the end of 5 is good for that because then you've had your politicking, you've had her dealing with things, and
Ramonda,
now you are starting 6 with Egwene, the Amelin of War. That's not exactly what we call her, but
then we also have to make sure, I think we need to spend at least a season or half a season with her being captured.
I think she gets captured at the end of season 6. So I think she gets raised beginning of season 5, all the politicking, and they finally like start the march on the White Tower at the end of season 5. Season 6, they're marching on White Tower. They're off to war. They're marching on the White Tower, and she gets captured at the end of season 6. So we start season 7 with her as a novice and her battle with Elida.
Yeah, so we start 5.
I love how this turned into Egwene is framing the entire arc of all.
Just remember how much time we're giving you now when we devote time to characters.
That's right.
And time to Nynaeve. But we're starting 5 with her fresh raised baby-faced Amelin. We're starting 6 with an Amelin on the warpath. Okay, so look at that's a big rise, and then we start 7 with
she's been captured and
in a dungeon and being tortured.
Yep.
In essence,
and then
by the end of 7, it's the attack on the White Tower, and then she's fully raised as Amerlin of a united tower at the end of season 7,
and she starts the purge.
Yeah. But I think you have to. Oh, maybe even like.
And that's why I feel like it needs to be a little earlier.
Yeah, because you need to do the purge, sort out the tower, maybe a meetup, or like find out that she needs to get to Merrilor, and we need to do all that.
So maybe it's a mid-season 7 that, like, so is she only in the tower as a novice for half a season?
Yeah, I would even say
less.
Yeah, less. Yeah. I reckon you have the tower attacked at the end of episode 2 and 7. Like 702, the tower attack begins. By the end of 703.
Do we back it up? Do we want her to be Amerlin for all of seasons? I mean, what does she do after she's Amerlin before Merrilor? Is she going around? Do we see her going around trying to like convince everybody and like setting up all the stuff?
She sends
she does talk to
the
Borderlanders, right? At some point.
At Merrilor.
Yeah.
No, it has
on the way to Merrilor, I think.
I thought that was Elaine who handles the Borderlanders.
We had it in our Uno parody. She meets with all the Borderlanders.
Oh no, but that's out on the ice. Right. Yeah. She does meet with the Borderlanders, but they're like, they don't even like buy it hardly that she's Amerlin. She doesn't convince them of anything yet. She sends Aline to convince them. Yeah. This is when she's when they go out on a frozen lake somewhere in Camelin. I mean, somewhere in Andor.
Oh,
and they meet on a frozen lake, and then and they're like,
which may or may not be necessary.
I don't think we have to worry about that.
But I do. Okay, so because now I'm just wondering, maybe we do spend season 7 with her like in her power, since season 8 is going to be just like fucking battle. You know, like, and also if she's going to have that butting heads with Rand at the beginning of season 8, like, you know, like you have to.
I thought we were saying at end of season 7 potentially.
Or at end of season 7.
Yeah, but she needs to be fully established by then.
We need to have her fully established.
Yeah.
And so I might
you
not
could end
kind of
6 with the attack on the tower. Maybe she gets captured later in 6, like, you know, in 606 or something.
Yeah, like the end, no, 608. I like her getting captured, I think. Sorry. Sorry.
You're
I'm typing a text. I think having her captured, I mean,
in 608?
yeah. No, in 508. No, in 608.
In 608?
No, in 508. I said 608 originally. I'm moving it back to 508.
Oh, 508. So she's raised in 501 and captured in 508.
Yes.
Okay.
She's raised in 501.
That makes sense.
She's raised in her season arc of season 5 is you're just a puppet. I'm not a fucking puppet. We're going to march on the tower. I just took the war powers. Fuck, you're not a puppet. We're here. We're going to make the chains.
Fucking Nicola.
I love the chains. Yes. And then, and we're here and we're outside the White Tower and we're like, Egwene. And then she gets captured and we're like, fuck.
I mean, it is kind of how a book ends anyway, isn't it? So
Yeah. Yeah. And so she's captured and we don't know what's going to happen until season 6. And so season 6 is when the beginning of season 6, she's in the tower and blah, blah, blah. And and
you
then
can have the Shan attack in end of 602, beginning of 603.
I think it can go even further
end of
out.
6. End of season 6.
I think
because I think you need to
6.
see her getting everybody turning against Elida.
Mm-hmm. And her battle with Elida, all of season 6. So
I was thinking about getting the rest of her
arc
arc in before the end of the season, but no, we've got season 7 as well. So yes, no,
correct.
Sorry,
Yep. So that way we have time to see her captured, see her, and honestly, whatever that means about spanking and torture. I think tortured for sure, but I think it's different, and I think I think so.
So the Shan Chen attack in the tower could be your episode 7 crazy battle thing.
Yeah.
For 607, yeah.
Yeah, for 607.
Yeah.
And then 608 she wakes up back in the
So then
camp
that means Veins of
if
Gold
we do that.
Also has to be 608.
Yeah. If we're going to do those at the same time.
Which I think is good that we see season 7 with Bodhisattva Rand, as the Black Tower likes to say.
Yeah, I think so we haven't talked about Rand in any of this. If we have angsty Rand for seasons 4, 5, and 6, getting darker, losing the Rand that we loved so that we get him enlightened in season 7.
Yeah.
But enlightened, but still not, no one believes it yet or whatever, and we're not sure what it means. And then enlightened and then strength in season 8.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Well, no. Yeah. I mean, so if we're saying the attack on the tower is at the end of season 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think
7, yeah.
and that is when Veins of Gold happens. I mean, granted, those things don't necessarily have to coincide, I guess. But
I think they happen late. It's late the next day or something, isn't it? No, it's after she reunites. She
reunites the tower. She's
so
in the hall.
It would be in season 7 because you're not going to take her from waking up in 608 after the attack. Well, no, because 608 would be the aftermath of the attack on the tower, wouldn't it?
Correct. When she then gets raised, probably.
Are you going to do the entire episode of dragging after doing 607 attack on the White Tower? Are you then also going to spend 608 just the tower?
No, but I don't think you need that much time.
I wonder if we repeat our summoned. So at the end of season 4, she gets summoned to Saladar, and at the end of season 6, she gets summoned to the tower. Mm-hmm. And she gets summoned to the tower because they want her to come and be the real Amerlin. And maybe we end season 6 with her looking up at the tower and ready to walk back in.
Yeah.
So that, and Veins of Gold is happening. I mean, look, I love Veins of Gold happening when she's actually, or maybe she's in the hall waiting for them to come in and they haven't even done it yet.
Mm-hmm. Veins of Gold could be happening in the background.
Mm-hmm, it could be.
Through the archway.
But I think, and sorry, Meg, don't be mad at me about this, but I do think if we make 607, I'm not taking all of these quite good notes, but if we make 607 the attack, shut up, on the tower, if 607 is the attack on the tower, then 608 really needs to be Rand's episode. It needs to be about Rand.
Which would be Veins of Gold.
I know. So all I'm saying is that she wakes up, see the attack on the tower. She's at her and then she gets ripped away.
She's bitching out whoever her assistant is that we decide to give her and such.
Yes.
And
Gowan. And then, so she gets pulled back. I think it is Gowan. I love it. And she gets taken back in 607. So 608, she's like, the fuck, I made so many strides. What have you done? The tower has to be whole. You're crazy. And that's how it sort of starts. And then it's really, there's no Egwene in 608 until the very end.
That's fine. That is fine. I'm okay.
Yeah, because it's
with
Veins
that.
of Gold and it's Rand and it's all of the, and it seems like it's the worst of everything. They get attacked. She gets pulled out, so she loses every ground she's gotten, and Rand is at his very darkest.
Yeah.
And then we go into Veins of Gold, and then so season 7, we start with her being officially raised and the purge.
Because Rand does spend a lot of time with, gathering his armies together and, going off where like all that spoiled grain was. He's like, oh, it was just all the sacks you hadn't opened and, so on and so forth. So he has stuff to do or can do prior to meeting up with Egwene again. So,
I mean, he's got to get all of the nations behind him, essentially.
And then Avienda's going through the rings again. Or going backwards to the
like
columns,
all of the
through the
crafting
columns.
of the dragon's piece, and then we see Avienda's
and that's good setup
journey.
for then Rand trying to do that later, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I like this.
This is so fun.
This is super
I like
fun.
how this was going to be. We'll do Marauders. It would be the quickest and easiest. How we just slowly progressed through the characters and
moved
Turn
everything.
into Egwene because she anchors the whole story.
We might have to go back and listen to this again to take notes because my notes are not great. They're fine, but they're not great.
That's okay. I'll take care of it. It's fine.
Share the doc with Meg, and Meg will re-notarize.
I did. I think I did. Megan, didn't I?
You did. I think so.
Okay.
I'll double check.
Love that. All right. Nice
all right,
point
this
to
is
wrap
good.
up, I think, yeah?
Yes, it is. And but here's what's great. Let me just say this. So this
Go
is
for it.
what I wanted to do because I've said this before, character is more important to me than plot, but in a book this heavy with this many plot points, so I felt like it was okay that we kind of started last week with what are the things that need to be happening at the end and going back. But now all the plot points have fallen into place based on the characters and the character arcs, because this is really, that's what's most important, is what our characters make it to this place or that place. I just want to say, I put down all of our main characters. We've gone through every single one of them. I just said Avienda in the column. So we didn't do enough Avienda yet.
Right.
Oops, I left Min off the whole damn thing. Sorry, Min. I'm putting her in there right now.
She's a lamp. She's
She's not a lamp. She's not a lamp. She's not a lamp. I didn't talk about Min at all. We haven't talked about the cleansing, so that's one of the things I want to talk about next week for sure. Or next time is we haven't talked about the cleansing at all.
I feel
but
that we can make next time maybe a Rand Nynaeve sort of episode.
Ooh,
Maybe.
I might have to do a clarified cocktail for the cleansing.
Ooh, I love this. Okay, oh my god, I charged my keyboard. It's not working. We also the only person
I need
that
to
was
write
on my
this down
list
because I'm definitely going to forget that. Okay.
Yeah.
yes, the only person that was on my list that we didn't talk about, and Rob, you're going to be really upset. I didn't put Min on the. First of all, I didn't put on the. We talked about Perrin a little bit. We didn't talk about Lan at all.
Oh, well, he'll naturally be weeded in a little bit with a Nynaeve discussion anyway.
When we talk more about Nynaeve. But yes, so I do. I just was oh, he was on my list and we didn't even get to him. But yeah, I mean,
we have time.
Whatever. Yeah,
and
also we have all the time in the world.
I mean, honestly,
nobody's picked a wheel of time.
Also, Lan's emotional arc is
pretty limited.
Lan's emotional arc. No, it is pretty limited. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way.
No,
Lan probably more than anybody in the series. Lan knows who he is from the beginning of the book.
Mm-hmm. He does.
Books. And his biggest, the most Lan.
I disagree slightly.
It's in the first book that he says the weeds in my heart and the poem and the
I know,
flowers.
but throughout the series, he has rejected his role as Malkier's king, and
he's
then,
Aragorn.
Well, I know, but yeah, for sure he is. But by the end, he does feel like, okay, Malkier needs this king.
Sherb says his emotional journey happens in the bedroom.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would like to be in that bedroom experiencing that journey. I'm just saying.
But anyway, no, I do feel like he does accept this role.
Yes.
Later on, there is an arc that happens
for sure.
Yeah, but
it
it's not a huge dramatic one.
No.
It's not some of the kids are going through.
And
everybody cries in the Golden Crane chapter.
So. Of course, yeah, but because he's got 40 years of experience behind him, what he's learning is just about that one thing in his life he's chosen not to address. The 18-year-olds are having to address huge changes in their life and learning who they are as people in the process. And learning how to deal with those parts of themselves in the process. Lan's I know who I am. I know my faults. I know my the great things about myself. I know what I can do, what I can't do. I know who I am as a person. I just choose not to acknowledge that bit about myself. Now I'm forced to do that. I don't have to do that with baggage of anything else about myself. So his journey is far simpler and far less complicated because, he's aware of who he is and, owns that. And he also owns that he doesn't talk about something. I feel like
Exactly. Okay, I agree. I think we should wrap up here. I forgot to show you guys my Aventador leaf.
And so I got this in the mail.
And so now Rob is the third wheel because I don't have a Wheel of Time necklace.
Yeah.
So I got this in the mail and I was like, Jay, did you send me something?
And I said, did I?
Can you see it? Okay, there. It's probably better.
So for those listening and not watching us live like the other patrons, Jen held up an Aventador leaf necklace. It's this beautiful, sterling, looks like silver necklace on like a black cord, and then Meg held up the wheel logo.
So with the original icon, the snake and then the wheel. Yeah, so the traditional Wheel of Time logo, all from Badali Jewelry.
Yes, who we would be happy to have as sponsors.
You can find Badali Jewelry.
And I also have my ring that I wear every day.
I have mine too because I finally got one, an original OG Badali Aes Sedai ring. But they, over the summer at Comic-Con, they were running like really good deals if you bought something at Comic-Con. And there was pre-order for the Aventador leaf and for the Wheel of Time logo that Meg got, the chapter icon. And so I decided I would get that for Megan for Christmas. I completely forgot that I pre-ordered the Aventador leaf, and I set it so that it would send to her house. So, because I'm not going home for Christmas this year. So I was like, that way I'll just have it sent directly to her. So a Badali shows up in the mail for me, and I was like, shit, I thought I put down Meg's address. Damn it. And I just put it aside because I was pretty sure it was her Christmas present. And I was like, well, I'll just have to mail it later. And then the next, 2 days later, she's like, did you send me something? And I was like, well, then what the hell's here? And so this was my Aventador leaf was a complete surprise. That's my positivity. That's a great positivity.
And I am the third wheel because I don't have one of these necklaces, which also was our positivity. Well, folks, I hope you managed to follow along with our character fight
Good
work.
luck.
We too shall be listening back to try and make sure we took appropriate notes. Next time we'll be maybe talking about Nynaeve and Rand.
Who knows? We'll talk an hour about random shit. That's just what happens. Yeah,
it's just how it goes. But wherever you are, please like the video, rate and review the podcast, comment if you're on YouTube or wherever you are, all those sorts of things. You can follow the show on social media. You can find us on Blue Sky, which is threewheeling.malkitalks.com, or you can find us on Instagram, which is 3.wheeling. You can also find us individually on social media. Those accounts are listed in the show notes, along with ways to support us, such as becoming a patron, and then you can come and listen live. We usually record on the Saturdays, but because there were various things happening yesterday, we recorded on a Sunday.
We'll have to talk about this because I got soccer for a couple weeks. So
okay, so maybe we don't record on Saturdays.
Sundays. Maybe Sundays for a few weeks.
Maybe. Right. We'll figure it out. But we're here every 2 weeks typically, and we love seeing people in chat. So you can do that by joining the Patreon. Other than that, just tell us about the t-shirt options. Like, what do you want to see on a three-wheeling t-shirt that is not a specific t-shirt for each of us, because we each have a t-shirt design of our own. You just put that in, and we'll find a design that works, and maybe we'll give one away at WhatCon. At What a Holiday. So which
along
comes
with a
up,
cocktail book.
Yes, that's coming up soon. So don't forget that, folks. Tickets out from MalkieriCon, obviously.
And we're doing a collaboration with Tucker Ran Riyadh as well.
Yes, they're going to join us, and we're going to have some fun. So, yeah.
Because they're my favorite podcast. I mean, I love us, but they're my favorite podcast.
They're the favorite podcast that's not us, that's
not us. How about we say that? Yes.
Yeah. I've been listening to them I've rewatched the season 3, and it's been quite entertaining so far.
It is fun.
But yeah. And that's it. So thank you so much, folks, and we will see you next time. Bye!
Bye! Once again, we've proven that even when you're the third wheel,
you can always find a place to fit in.
Join us next time.
On Three Wheeling.
On Three Wheeling.
On Free Wheeling.